Hi everybody, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Adventures. Why? Because real estate is fun and it should always be an adventure. Who the heck am I? My name's Joe Jurek and I'm going to be your host. If you're a return guest, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a real estate investor, gets to travel all over the country. And where am I at today? I'm in Anchorage, Alaska, the 49th state. I tell you, it's a beautiful area. If you've never been here, you need to travel here. Now, what do I want to talk about? Risk versus return in this video. Too often than not, I meet new investors that are starting out and they tell me about properties they want to buy. They say, Joe, it's a great deal. It's only $900,000, but it's going to be worth $1.3 million once it's all done. And my first question normally is, do you have the kind of, $1.1 million to buy it, hold it, renovate it, list it, and sell it? And they go, no, but it's such a great deal. We've all been there. We've all dreamed about buying or tackling big, huge projects. We've all dreamed about making that killing, making a quick 6 figures on a property. But here's the thing, especially if you're newer, I'd recommend starting with smaller deals. You have to control your risk. I cannot tell you how important that is. You can take huge risks to try to make huge returns, but you can take huge risk and experience huge losses. I can't tell you how many people over the years I've met, even when I was in corporate accounting and I did business consulting for a major firm, okay? The thing that I noticed is if you take too big of a risk, if you bite off more than you can chew, it's probably not gonna end well. And what I want you to think about is build up to doing bigger deals. A lot of times people want to do a big deal right out of the gate. They want to make huge money. And in some cases people have, but in other cases people have tried it and they've, kind of fell flat on their face. I don't want to see that happen to you, okay? So this is what I would tell you. If you're just starting out, really think about how much risk you want to take on. Think about, if you've never ever done this before, can you really do a buy, fix, and flip? You might be able to, but should you buy the worst house in kind of a questionable area and hope to make a great return on it, especially if you've never done it before, and maybe it's a heavy rehab or what I call a super heavy rehab. If you're starting out and you're flipping, what I would think about doing is start out with lighter rehabs, then move to medium, then move to heavy. The reason I've said in the past people get so enticed by these heavy rehabs is because they're so cheap. Oh, Joe, you wouldn't believe the price. I understand, but it's probably cheap for a reason. They usually have the biggest problems, the biggest headaches. The other thing I want to tell you as well, people may do really well with residential properties, condos, townhomes, single family. And then all of a sudden they hear about people making good money in mobile home parks, or they hear people about making good money in, multi-units, 50, 100 unit apartment complexes, or commercial. They get wooed in by, wow, I want to, go ahead and do this mini mall that's going to have 5 stores. Now, all that's good. You can make money in all those things, but you have to have experience in things. And here's the thing, if you don't have experience and you do something wrong, could you lose money? You could. Could you get frustrated? You could. Could you just wish you would have never have done it? You could. And believe me, I know a lot of people that have been there, including myself over the years. I would tackle a project and think, why did I get into this? But it's like anything, down the way here, they got a pier. Once you jump off that pier and you're looking down at that water, you might think, wow, this might not have been a good idea. But you're committed. Why? You went off the pier. So here's the thing, if you buy the building and you get into it and you figure, oh man, I don't know if this was the right building to buy, you're probably gonna have to see it through to the end. Now, what other example does that bring to me? I was just in another city this past weekend, and the funny thing was, we were actually in Durham, North Carolina. I was working with some people, and we went into one house where they started renovating it. They started doing the natural hardwood floors. They started putting in cabinets in the kitchen. They started putting in lighting and ceiling fans throughout the house. But here was the problem with that house. Let me just tell you. It was a brick home that they probably got for a good price, but they got in over their head. The problem with the property was it had a structural issue, and maybe they knew about it, maybe they didn't, but once they got into it, I think they realized it was more than they wanted to tackle. They were probably thinking, wow, this looks so easy on TV. And a lot of times it does, because I've said in the past, most problems are fixed in 30 minutes on TV. But in reality, can it be longer? It can be. So number one, they got in over their head. Number two, they had a kind of a bigger ticket item with having structural issues. Now, if they didn't have that checked out and get a price before, could that been a surprise for them once they found out what it was going to cost to deal with that structural issue? I probably believe it was. The other thing is they had no game plan. In my playlist where I talk about buy, fix, and flip and things of that nature, you have to have a timeline, you have to have a budget, and you have to have a process for how you're doing things. Often what I see is people will jump in with both feet and do whatever they feel like they want to do. Now, the whole house wasn't even finished. I don't think they were done painting. Do you think they should have started on sanding and staining the wood floors? Probably not. Do you think they should have put in all the kitchen cabinets when maybe they had to give a final coat to the kitchen? Do you think they should have put up all the light fixtures when I don't believe the ceilings were finished? They had to be sanded, because they were drywall and taped and mudded. They had to, finish the ceilings. Now, when you sand like that, you're gonna get dust all over. So yeah, you could put out drop cloths, which they did. There were drop cloths everywhere, okay? But you almost have to know what's gonna happen in what stage and plan it out. I think what happened with that property, they got in so far over their head, they basically said, hey, let's give up on it, put it on the market, and then just get rid of this thing because it's just turned out to be more work than we can handle or more work than we want to chew. So, as you're doing this, what I want you to really do is really try to learn from the mistakes of other people, okay? People that have done things before you. Hopefully they'll be truthful with you because they won't want you to make the same mistakes they've made. That's one reason why I like sharing information on the channel, is because early on, sometimes people wouldn't tell me everything. I'd say it was like getting a recipe and only getting 5 of the 10 ingredients because I couldn't make my cookies as good as their cookies. And if they had to go through the school of hard knocks with real estate investing, by all means, then I had to go through the school of hard knocks too. I think that's what they were thinking. But here's the thing, if I can share things with you that are gonna make the road a little bit easier, I hope to do that. And what I wanna tell you, if you're just starting out, pick a strategy that works for you, learn as much as you can, and don't be in a hurry to get any property. I see that all the time. It's like people, even that have money, it's burning a hole in their pocket, they just wanna buy something, buy something, buy something. Make sure it's the right property. Make sure you're trying to make the right amount of profit. Because if you have a couple of uh-ohs, I didn't budget for that, and it's gonna chew into your profit, if you only went in trying to make 5 grand, it's probably gonna get all chewed up. If you went in trying to make 20 or 25 grand, you won't make as much as you hoped, but at least you won't lose money, and you're gonna learn some valuable lessons. So, as you look at doing this, do not go all in and take huge risks in the beginning, because if it doesn't turn out well, you may get soured about real estate. Now, I don't want you to get soured. I want you to plan what you're doing as you go forward. Last golden nugget tip that I'd basically tell you, talk to as many other seasoned investors that you can, okay? Ask them about their best deal and what were some of the things that made it their best deal, and ask about their worst deal, and hopefully they'll share it with you. If they've said, I've never had a bad deal, I never lost money, I don't know. There could be a bridge they could sell you to, but I really believe that everybody's always had a bad experience, whether it's with a property, a contractor, a partner, something that's happened that they could share with you. And what I always say, you can learn just as much off of all the good deals as you can off what they may have did wrong, and you can learn from their mistakes. The other thing I would tell with you is pay it forward, put it out there as you gain experience, network with other people, and talk to them as well too. because I think no matter what you do in life, the more you can network with people that are doing the same thing, the easier it's going to be to share and learn and benefit from that information. So I want you to go out there and crush it. I want you to go make it happen, make your dreams a reality. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, okay? And believe and achieve. Bye-bye. Take care. Do it now. Believe and achieve. Take care.